So thanks for tuning in. Just a quick update that the full episodes of the Rant Cafe podcast can be found for free on Spotify, which is linked in the description below. But for now, let's just jump into the meat and potatoes of this highlight.
Animac apparently has beef with me from my latest video, so I think Animac should go first.
Sure, I'll go first. So one of my big hot takes is that and it's a relevant one right now because season 2 of ReZero is airing. I really don't like Subaru as a protagonist. I don't like him, and it drags the story for me. Like, I am interested in everything in the world more than I am in him. And Nux actually just on his YouTube channel made a whole video talking about why he loves Subaru as a character. And I mean, theoretically, Nux, I totally get what you're saying. Like, theoretically, I totally understand. The problem is that when I'm actually watching it, my enjoyment levels just are drained by Subaru. So it's not like a philosophical stance that I'm taking. He just takes away from my enjoyment in a very instinctual sense. Do you know what I mean?
So is it because you think Subaru is an absolute moron? Like, what is your reason?
He's very dumb. He's very dumb, and he's just like cries a lot, and he's helpless a lot, and I know that's part of the story, but I kind of I'm tired of it. I want there to be quicker progression, and then it just frustrates me, and it drags the story for me, because there's so many other interesting things going on in the story, interesting characters, our boy Roswell. So I want to know more about that, and less about Subaru crying.
I do love our boy Roswell, don't get me wrong. He's a sexy man.
And I've gotten a lot of genuine hate from people just because I have this take. Like, it wasn't like, Animac, you know what, I disagree with you, but I respect you. You know, you have your own opinion. So it was like, no.
Dude, disagreeing with people and
wrong.
Respecting them?
You're wrong. I lost respect for you, bro. How can you not understand Subaru? Clearly you have mental issues. Like, I literally had this said. So
I mean, he does have mental issues, but Subaru has nothing to do with them, right?
I guess it depends how you define mental.
So what do you love about Subaru, Nuxie boy?
I made a 30-minute long video talking about...
I watched it?
No, because I just uploaded it yesterday, and it has a very snazzy title, okay?
Yes, I did laugh when I saw that title.
Animax, what are your thoughts on the title of the video, content aside?
What can you remind me?
I think you're as crazy. I don't know how you forgot Animac. I think Nux is as crazy as Subaru at certain points in the series. Maybe that's why he likes them so much. They're both insane.
Okay, I even mentioned in the video itself, I'm sure that you picked up on this because you looked for any note of me saying that I don't like Subaru. I mentioned that I don't like Subaru as much as I like what the story did with Subaru.
No, yeah, I know, and theoretically, I totally understand that. But and I know he's not like your favorite character by any means. I'm not saying that. I'm just kind of trolling you by saying, oh, I have beef with that video. But yeah, I just feel he takes away from the story, and it drains the pace of the story for me, which is not what you want your protagonist to be doing. But I know that for a lot of people, that's completely the opposite. They love it. Yeah. So I know that I'm not objectively correct here or anything. It's just a hot take that I have that it seems like most people disagree with.
Yeah, I made a character tier list video for the first time the other day, and I couldn't help but to put Subaru in S tier. Like, he was either top of A or bottom of S.
I'm back at it again with your great take.
Oh, dude, thank you.
He's such a good character, bro. Like, I figured Bricks would love him too, because even from the very beginning of the story, like, he's kind of a Chad. Like, he worked out beforehand. He gets jumped in an alley. He fights his way out.
Is this all you think of me?
No, then he has to fight. He does all these other fights where he kind of mans up, and he does better than I would have done in that world.
Yo, so Jordan, we're not talking about Kenichi. We're talking about ReZero.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's that, and then there's also the growth from a psychological perspective, and it's kind of like what Nux said. Like, it's what the story does with him, how it puts him through the suffering. I don't know, man. I
feel like when I find myself rooting for Elsa and the rabbits, then I feel like, something's not right here.
He has boobs and Subaru doesn't, but like Animac, there's more to life.
Yo, guys, real talk. Elsa is an underrated waifu in ReZero. Like, yes,
I genuinely don't like Elsa. I know you like her a lot, but I really don't.
But like, I like her in the context of if I'm not her enemy, right? Like, I feel like she'd be top-notch waifu. But if you're her enemy, obviously that sucks.
My gut instinct just tells me to stay away from her, bro, because she likes my guts. Like that.
You're a coward.
I don't know. Something about
cowardly man. By the way, we had Wrath of Bong in the chat ask, asked me to at least credit Subaru because he was going to lick Priscilla's foot like I would have done. Okay, listen. It's about context, right? If I did that with Priscilla's foot in like a romantic context, that's between me and her, that would be different. But if I'm doing it because she's humiliating me, then that's not cool.
Well, let's take a turn. I think off of season 1, I wasn't a big fan of Subaru because it felt like he didn't develop by the end of it. It was like trauma, and now he's okay. Like, it just didn't feel right. But then in season 2, you start to see why he developed, and he had to go through the trials, which pushed him to develop. And it really made what I felt at the end of season 1 make sense.
There you go. I liked him a lot more in season 2 as well because of the reasons you just stated. Like that
because it just didn't feel like he was fine at the end of season 1. I'm like, but like, what about everything you went through? How did you overcome this? It doesn't make sense. It just happened. But then in season 2, you realize he really didn't develop. He was just putting on a facade in all of season 1. Sorry about that, guys. He was just putting on a facade, and through the trials, he was forced to go through what was making him act the way he did. So I think Subaru's a good character. He's not very likable. I don't really like him that much, so I see where Mac's coming from. Overall, you guys both have bad taste.
I mean, no.
What?
I was talking to Jordan for putting him in S tier and Mac for hating him completely.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree. I think you both have bad taste on this one.
Oh, what? Man,
like, he's not an S tier character, bro.
He was either top of A and I think season 2 bumped him up to S for me just because I love how he's written and I love, I don't know, I love what the story did with him, like Nux said. But
okay, don't try to use Nux's name.
My man just piggybacking off me. I would never say that he's an S tier character. S tier is the best of the best. Okay, not the moderately decent.
I can't think of a single, aside from Mushoku Tensei's characters, a couple or one of them. Like, I can't think of any other isekai character I would put above Subaru. Wait, no.
I would put Kazuma. I put Kazuma above Subaru.
You're right.
Okay,
I'm sorry, but Jordanio the Wizard is technically a isekai character.
Yeah, he's SS plus.
Yeah.
I guess while we're on the topic of ReZero, we could talk about the whole Amelia and Rem thing. It just feels so obsolete now that Echadna's been introduced.
Yeah,
but I did get a lot of hate, and so did Animac for just saying Rem sucks.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of... Man, there's another hot take, I guess, and we share this one. I just don't like Rem.
At all.
As a character or waifu option.
Yeah, I mean, I would disagree, but at the same time, she does kind of pale in comparison to Echidna, whatever you want to call her.
I think both Rem and Amelia are both B tier waifus.
Bro, like, Amelia is like a B tier waifu, and then Rem's not even on the list because I don't remember who she is.
Yeah, because
I mean, in all honesty, the reason why I never got interested in this whole debate is because I just see both of them as just average waifus, so I just don't care.
Yeah, but the thing is, Rem is so beloved, and she was especially beloved during season 1. Like, obviously, no one remembers her now, but during season 1, people loved her, and me and Briggs and I got a lot of hate for saying we don't really care about her. But I mean, she starts off as like antagonistic towards Subaru for no reason. Like, okay, he smells bad or whatever, but she wants to kill him. She literally does.
Yeah, she kills him without even questioning or doing anything. Exactly. Just kills him no second thought.
Against Amelia's wishes. Bro, she's supposed to be a maid at that house, and against Amelia's wishes, she just does that shit. And then she flips and becomes that Subaru simp. And she's like, I'll do anything for you, Subaru. Like, fuck off, man.
I mean, I don't dislike her character. I just don't love her. I mean, I think her character actually made sense in the context of season 2. You have to recognize that she didn't flip from becoming a psycho to becoming a simp. In the timeline that she was a simp, she was never a psycho.
And it all depends on how. But it was just weird how his
impressions that changed how they reacted to him because he was suspicious as all hell that timeline where she ended up killing him. She had which is even heavier. He was in the mansion with her sister and the people that she cared about. Like and she sensed that curse on him and stuff. Like everything pointed to him just being a threat. Yeah, an evil threat that she had to get rid of.
It just didn't seem in her character to do that afterwards. Like obviously, her interaction with
offensive though. It wasn't like she was being a psycho. Like I don't think she
I'm
was
just
ever
trying
really
to say,
a
like,
psycho.
obviously it's Subaru's interactions with her that changed it the second time around. It just, after getting to know her, it seems so out of character for her to just kill Subaru just off of a few suspicions.
Because
I don't
remember,
know. I don't know.
Jordan,
Yeah.
Subaru was a invited guest of Emilia at the mansion. You can't just go and slaughter someone's invited guest against their wishes if you're the fucking maid. Like, what are you talking about?
I get that, but
Dude, and what an absolute,
I mean, I don't
fuck
mean to be
after,
rude, but-
So the funniest moment in episode 18, honestly a comedic masterpiece, when Subaru says, I love Emilia to Rem, and she's just like, I'm still going to dedicate my entire life to you.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah,
thought that was
strong,
fun.
independent
People
woman, goddammit.
were like talking about how that's heartbreaking. I was like, ha.
it made more sense to
I
me the second time
genuinely
around.
laughed. I laughed so hard.
There you go, Briggs. Now you're joining the dark side.
Let's go.
Briggs is like a pirate king.
Although, speaking of Rem, I tend to like double down on bad takes. Like if I have a take where I think Rem's like a meh character, and then I get hate for it, I'm just like, all right, now she's the worst fucking character of all time. And that's happened with a
I
lot
know.
of characters.
Like Todoroki.
Like
You have
Todoroki.
this-
And Todoroki
weird-
tends to be one of my bad takes, I guess.
Oh yeah, it is a terrible take because
A terrible take. Todoroki.
I like-
you
I
dislike
like
Todoroki even in season 2, and Todoroki in season 2 was like the best character in the whole show.
Well, I think that's an example of me doubling down. I feel like I mildly disliked Todoroki in the beginning, and I got so much hate for it because there's so many freaking Todoroki fangirls. And it's like, all right, well, now he's terrible. And I just came up with a million reasons as to why I disliked him. And I think part of the reason that always like kind of annoyed me is you got this cool rivalry between Bakugo and Deku. And then
that was
Todoroki's
a
just
cool
there.
rivalry. Hold on, bro.
I
That's
like
a
the
cool
rivalry.
rivalry.
I like the
That was
rivalry.
such an uncool rivalry. What?
Anyway,
I-
and then you have this
I-
third
I-
element. You have this third element, Todoroki, who's just like stronger than both of them without even trying. He has daddy issues, and his way of getting back at his dad is like, hey, I'm still going to work towards the dream you wanted me to accomplish, and I'm just not going to use the fire side because you use fire. How much of a joke is that? Go do something different. Like, why are you trying to achieve the dream he literally, like, spawned you for? And then, like, your way of getting back at him is just to, like, use only your ice side.
Because
Get out
he
of
wanted
here.
that for himself. Like, I actually look. I do understand the dude. I genuinely do. He had issues. He's a kid at the end of the day. He's not making massive decisions. He wants to become a hero for himself. He just doesn't want to need to rely on his father. I get it. Okay. I think Zuko's a much better character, despite their similarities from Avatar.
actually,
But-
are any of you guys caught up to the manga right now?
Also, Todoroki has
No.
the fucking, what's it called, personality of a peanut. He was so
No.
unentertaining for the entire first season.
Briggs. Todoroki has really developed now in the manga, and especially recently in the story, we had some epic Todoroki family moments where he really shined. So he has definitely developed a lot as a character, and I love him even more now than I did before. I always liked him, but now I love him. He's had some
So I
great
will
moments.
admit, as the series went on, I did start to like Todoroki a little bit, but I was never able to admit it, just because I thought it was funny to just keep on ripping on him. But in retrospect, I do have
we
a
just
lot
had
of
a break.
takes. Pardon?
We just had a breakthrough for Briggs
Yeah.
right now. We had a breakthrough where you admitted that your take was bad.
In retro, no, but off the season one, he was shit. But
He
like,
was better in season 1 than he is currently, probably.
anyway, because they forget about him afterwards. He finally develops a little bit. He finally develops, and then he's gone. Like his story arc's over, I guess. Where did he
Well,
go?
he's back now
Yeah.
in the manga. He's back now, and it's been amazing.
Anyway, the point I'm trying to get at is like in retrospect, I've realized that I doubled down really hard on some of my unique tastes.
Unique.
Unique.
I was about to say, in season 2, bro, I think that's one of the greatest things Horikoshi did at that time was he was gonna have Todoroki, in the finals, just overcome his trauma, and then he realized, like, hey, trauma isn't something you overcome so easily, just because somebody said a few words to you, and then he kind of extended that whole arc even further beyond that. I don't know. I thought that was one of the best parts about season 2, was that he didn't just overcome his trauma right away.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you're interested in seeing the full episode of the Rant Cafe podcast, link is in the description to our Spotify, which is free, by the way. We very much appreciate all the support you guys give us. We also have a link in the description to our Patreon. Have yourselves the most wonderful evening, and remember to stay weird, fam.